Hello, my friends. I'm here in Bristol, Virginia today at a former hospital. This place is really cool. It's a fascinating structure. We're up here on Solar Street in Bristol, Virginia, and it's a beautiful neighborhood, and it's where I live. I'm Daniel Shue, the old house agent. I work at Prestige Homes of the Tri-Cities in Bristol, Tennessee, and I'm a real estate agent that specializes in selling historic and old houses in Tennessee and Virginia. Like I said, today we're in Virginia at my newest listing. This is 200 Solar Street, and it's a fascinating house. Like I said, it was built in 1910 by a man named John Huntsman. And John Huntsman operated the Huntsman Wholesale Grocery Company, which I'm assuming was downtown here in Bristol. By the way, downtown, you are downtown. When you're up in this house, you can look out the window and see the entire city. It's really great. In 1929, he passed away and his wife lived here. I don't have her death date, but in the 1940s, it was purchased by Dr. Allen K. Turner, who operated it as a hospital until about 1981, when the Cantor couple bought it and converted it into assisted living, which just closed down in December. So with all that out of the way, some interesting things here. Let's go take a look. So I am told by some older people in the area, which I think people were born here, I guess up until 1981, but I was told by some of the older folks in their 80s that you could have a baby here for $50, which apparently was a great deal back then. It sounds like a great deal now for sure. So my understanding is even if you didn't live right here close by, you would come over here so you could have a baby inexpensively. We've got what appears to be granite on the front steps, and also the lintels over the windows are granite. There's one upstairs I might be able to show you toward the end of the tour. And you've got these beautiful classical elements. These columns are in remarkable condition. Those capitals are usually the first thing to go when a building deteriorates, and these have been kept up very well. The exterior does need some renovations. There's some maybe drainage issues on the gutter over here, and some of the top of the porch needs to be addressed. But in general, it's in pretty remarkable condition. The brickwork is phenomenal. I don't see any major cracks or any problems with bore bees or anything. I'm sorry, not bore bees, but mortar bees. And we've got original stained glass. Now, where it was an assisted living facility, they did replace most of the windows with vinyl windows, but they appear to be just like the original ones were. But the ones that had leaded glass, they kept. Mr. Cantor and Mrs. Cantor that own this steel, he has always been very old building oriented. And while he may not have had a degree in historic preservation, he tried to do things to these buildings to make them work for him and to, be profitable, but also not destroy them. Like this capitol here that's missing from this added staircase, I believe he built this out around where the capitol may still be under there. If he did not, I'd be shocked. It'd be very unlike him to do something like that. And then you've got pretty columns here too. This guy right here tells me that these may have had a fancier capital on top. I'm not sure about that. I do have a photo from the 1920s, so I'll have to reference that and see. These columns are massive. The porch is poured concrete with this tile over it. It seems to be in great condition, so it's not wood. You're not going to be rotting away here. And the house is listed at $449,000. It's over 5,600 square feet with 5 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. Now, the bathroom and bedroom situation are a little unusual because where this was a hospital and assisted living facility, there are, I think there's only one kitchen on the 3rd floor, but the bathrooms are set up. One has 2 showers, one's in the basement, etc. And I only have it listed at 5 bedrooms because there are so many uses for all of these rooms. So you've basically got 5 good-sized bedrooms upstairs, but there's plenty of room for 1 or 2 master suites on the 1st floor. I think this would make an incredible bed and breakfast. There is a 4-floor elevator in the back that still works. I think it's probably from the 1940s. and it's really, really cool. It goes from the basement to the third floor. It seems to be in remarkable condition. But if you could open this as a bed and breakfast, you would need to do a special use permit with the city of Bristol, Virginia. I've already checked into that. And if it's approved, then you could have up to 5 rooms rented out in here. So you could live in this beautiful house and have 5 different rooms or suites, kind of like a boutique hotel, but it's not a hotel. So the floors, as Monica is panning around, are crazy cool. This is kind of a Bristol thing. I know they did these floors in other areas, but this is a floor that is very similar to some of the ones we've seen around Bristol. Our King House floors, some of them are kind of like this, and our floors when we lived on Johnson Street right over here were very similar to these. As a matter of fact, they were identical color. And our King House is only a block from here, so every time I have to come over here for something, I just walk. So you come into this huge space with all this, what I'm assuming is white oak. It's kind of hard to tell whether it's white or red unless you're looking at it fresh. But white oak was far more expensive because there was a shortage on it. So all the rich people were going, oh, well, I'll put white oak in my house so they'll know that I have more money. And you got these exceptional pocket doors. The oak, whatever it is quarter sawn. Some people call this tiger oak, but it's actually the way it's sawed or sawn. So it's quarter sawn oak there. And very typical facings for the hill here. We have really nice interior woodwork all over the hill, except our house, which was painted 100 years ago. Coming into this big doorway here, it's so cool. I'm not sure if this is some married something here. I do kind of think maybe this was a panel that was under a window and they added this on later and saved the woodwork and raised it. But in either case, you've got a nice little entrance here that goes into kind of a sunroom. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 7 windows in here. It's not a huge room, but it's very cozy. They've got some furniture stored in here, so you kind of can't get a good feel for that. And I wonder if this light works. No, must not be bulbs in it. And then the floor in here is also concrete. I don't think there's a heat source out here, but they have a window unit. So you'd have to probably put a mini split out here. The house does have central air, and the heat system is, I believe, steam heat. We're having a hard time determining that, but I believe it's steam heat and not hot water. So there's a boiler downstairs that controls a massive tank of hot water that would boil and push steam into the radiators and heat the house. It's really, I think, efficient. It runs from natural gas that's here in the city, and it's a really great heat. I have not spent the night in this house in the winter, so I don't know how well it works, but I can tell you our old house that had it, it heated very well. Got beautiful, beautiful woodwork in here. I love these staggered panels. That's a really interesting design. And I guess these are original. They're oak and some kind of shelving unit they have there. But the pièce de résistance is this amazing mantle. This is the best mantle in the whole house with these beautiful like lion griffin heads on here. And the tile is in remarkable condition, all original. Just a stunning, stunning mantle. The intricacy of these capitals is phenomenal. So I'm thinking this may have been the best parlor. I'm still not sure about that in the original house in 1910. It looks like there was a swinging door here, which tells me it was likely a dining room, and this went into a butler's pantry. I think the best parlor mantles were usually better than the dining room, but maybe that was a different case here. So this goes into what I think might have been a butler's pantry, and then this went into another room. I'll show you in a minute. It's interesting. Here's another addition here. You can see the original brick wall there in great condition. Look at that mortar joint, how tight. That's like a 1/4 inch. I mean, this thing's not going anywhere. And so this is a nice usable closet space for now. You wouldn't have to heat it if you didn't want to. And the basements are behind, the basement steps are behind Monica, and we're going to go down those in just a minute, but not right now. So let's go back out into the front so you can get a feel for what's happening here. So we're back out in the front entrance here, which is like a parlor slash foyer, and then this hallway goes straight back to the elevator. So if we go down through here, these lights do not work, so I apologize for the darkness. So if we go in here, if this was the best parlor, see these panels under the windows look like that door overhead. So if this were the best parlor, then maybe this mantle was kind of a modern looking mantle. This brickwork was a thing up on the hill here in the early 1900s, maybe as far back as 1890. And it's a neat mantle. Might need a little bit of repointing. Yeah, it's like a brick mantle in every house. Now ours was in the parlor. Yeah, I guess that's right. Our old dining room mantle was better than the parlor, so I guess this was the formal parlor. Also has this kind of ceiling, like these beams. I won't call it a coffered ceiling, but it has these faux beams made from oak. And a bay window. I mean, this is a super cool room. And the flooring continues on into here. What is unusual about this house, probably not for 1910, but for Solar Hill, is these one panel doors. We usually see in this era of house on Solar Hill horizontal panels, and these are single panel doors, so that's interesting to me. And they're original. They're all the oak doors. So coming on here, there's a servant stairs up there, which are long but not too steep. And then here's what I'm talking about with the bedrooms. This could potentially be a master suite back here. You got a gracious sized room back here and two large windows. The windows in the house are huge. Get this tile up, try to save the original floor maybe. And then you could open up right there and go into this bathroom. Or this could be a guest bathroom for company when you have visitors. So there's some potential there for converting this. There's already plumbing back here. This door, I'll show you in a few minutes. If it's not raining, we can go outside. This goes out to a little side portico, which is really cool. Here's one of the radiators. Now, this being built in 1910, I would say these radiators are probably original. They were probably put in the house during its first construction. And then they would have had the coal burner fireplaces as supplemental heat. Yeah, I think ours dated to 1911. And then in here, this room confounds me. If anybody wants to give me some input, I would love to hear it. It looks like this could have been a kitchen because there was a door here that went through to the butler's pantry and through the dining room. Now, it could have also been a butler's pantry. But here's the thing. Usually up here on Solar Hill, these kitchens and servants' areas were pine woodwork. This is all oak. So we're kind of confused as to why they would have oak cabinetry in a butler's pantry or a kitchen. But nevertheless, it's here and it's quite remarkable. Could you imagine how much this would be to have this made now? These solid oak cabinets. The shelves are all oak too. They're not going to bend. You could put an anvil on there probably and it wouldn't bend. And then you've got these original pulls, which this is cool. So in 1910, especially here in Bristol, you had sort of this conversion from Victorian to Craftsman. So you got this ornate fireplace mantle, but right here you got kind of these Craftsman pulls. So we started changing styles here, and this house is a bit of a hybrid. And then you've got cabinetry down here. Look, it has oak flooring in it. I mean, it's just crazy. So I love this room. I love this cabinetry. I don't know what the heck this room was. I'm assuming it was a fancy butler's pantry. Quite possibly, maybe it could have been a breakfast room with some more formal style cabinets in here that were useful. I don't know. But I'm just so happy it's all here. And then you got a full bath right here. So you got a potential for that to become a bedroom too. Just don't rip those cabinets out. Now right here is the coolest feature of the house, in my opinion, is this elevator. We're not going to use it because I have not had the family teach me its ways yet. So I don't want to get stuck in here. But the reason the gate's here is because this goes all the way to the basement, and then it opens out to where you can go outside from here too. And but what they look at this, that's so cool. And then there are apparently mechanisms on here, like the door has to be shut and latched a certain way and all that for it to be on. But it does work. I've ridden on it. This is definitely got that hospital feel. If you want to uh, be in a house that's different, you got it. Imagine telling your guests when they come over, "Oh yeah, it's a beautiful house, but it used to be a hospital." That's pretty cool stuff. So we're going to go back this way and go to the front of the house. Oh, and I love these. Very common for the period, these corner protectors. Plaster was super expensive back then, and you did not want your corner getting dinged up. I think those are so neat. And those ceilings run into this room too. Um, I'm not sure what happened there. I don't think there. Oh, there's a sink right there. I bet it leaked at one time. If you see water damage in this house, there's nothing active that we're aware of. Oh, and there's a closet in here. Another Bristol thing is having lots of windows in closets. So have a nicely lit closet. And see, having a window in a closet would have been useful back then because if the house was built with gas lights and did not have electricity yet, there wouldn't have been a light in the closet. So that was clever. And this staircase is very graceful. It's beautiful. This board that goes around the bottom edge of the wall is all paneled. And my favorite thing about this staircase is how they thought out this railing right here, how it curves up so beautifully. A little bit of a federal feel, kind of hearkening back to that colonial revival. So top the steps, you are in another huge space. You get more rooms up here because it's divided up in this area versus the first floor is open. So you've got a room here, which is really cool. It could be a bedroom, a nursery, a walk-in closet. I do love this window. Or you could have a tiny den up here, a little TV room. We know from experience in living in these huge old houses like this, it's nice to have a second or third floor space where you can just kind of let your hair down. And this room, I don't think, yeah. So I guess this was a separate room also. This could have been a servant's room, a prep area. I'm not sure. Well, no, it wouldn't have been because that door opens up to the balcony. So I'm not sure. I guess it was just a little space, a little extra sitting room. Everybody's asking me online for the photos. If you haven't seen the listing on Realtor Zillow or Facebook, these pipes are a sprinkler system. I guess they were probably installed when it was a hospital. They have them inspected every year. If you did this as a bed and breakfast, you might want to keep those, and that would be something useful. And also, it's, kind of a Victorian looking interior. So if you wanted to lean a little more steampunk in your style with a bed and breakfast, these pipes are super cool. So jump in here. Here's another large room. Now this one has woodwork that's unpainted. Needs a heck cleaned out of it, but it's unpainted. And then you get to double windows up here. Now this big house next door, I'll talk about it when we go outside, but it's going to come up for sale in a few weeks too. So you could be your own neighbor. Then there used to be a doorway here that went into the next room. Now the fireplaces change up here. They're still a little formal looking for a second floor. So these people were trying to impress, that's for sure. Usually bedrooms were a little more subdued because company didn't come into them. But this one, they kept the tile going. I have never seen anything like this. It's like Monica says tortoiseshell. I'm thinking swamp thing cheetah, chemically enhanced cheetah. And so the mantle is kind of, I don't know, it feels almost like Empire Revival or something. Neat. And then you got these small closets up here. So you'd want to either turn small bedrooms into closets or build some in. Our office manager was like asking my broker, "What's up with all the sinks in every room?" But these are from the hospital days. Lots of babies born here. They did, but I don't. Yeah, I think these are hospital sinks. And then another similar mantle and style here with beautiful. You could really go to town with pulling these colors out of here to paint this room. All oak. So this is above what I think was the best parlor now. I didn't yesterday, but I've changed my mind. And so you got a bay window here too, which looks out over that end of the city, mountain views over there, and also neighboring properties. These houses are so beautiful. Monica's family came up for a derby party we had a few years ago, and her uncles were commenting on these houses on the hill being huge, and they are. And then over here, they've turned some kind of bedroom area into multiple bathrooms. So you do not want to keep this way. There's a double shower here, and there's a toilet around the corner. So need some help back here. And then over here is, I believe, a double toilet and sink. Plumbing is already run. And then this is the servant stairs that goes back down. So let's run up to the third floor. Oh, wait, there's one more bedroom. And then the elevator is here. And like I said, these doors, they won't open until the elevator comes up here. It's really neat. And then another pretty second floor mantle. And again, really cool tile. It's in remarkable condition. So many times these tiles are broken or have popped off, but this was a high quality house. I'm not sure why this header was here. I think this was always one big room. Oh, this window has a really cool view. So it goes all the way down Sycamore Street and goes over to Commonwealth. You can actually see the back of the Food City from here. And I'd say if you looked hard enough, you might be able to see the casino. And I ran into the door. Yeah, there's a closet that I just ran into. So let's take these. These steps are not steep, in my opinion, but there is a strange step here that you have to contend with. So I'm not sure what kind of safety feature you'd want to do there, but you definitely have to use the space. We're in the third floor, which I think may have always been finished. There's some evidence up front I'll show you in a minute. Bathroom in here. You could definitely keep this as a bathroom. There's a laundry hook up there. So it could be your third floor laundry room too. Single panel doors continue on up into this area. Elevator comes all the way up here. This goes to where the roof peaks. So there's like a pyramid mansard shaped roof above us. Not much because you're in the third floor, but that will access, I guess, your ductwork, whatever you need, insulation. In here was the kitchen. I don't know if it was kitchen for the hospital. I assume it's been a kitchen for a long time, but it was the kitchen for the assisted living. So definitely want to come into here and change things a little bit. Although, if you had a bed and breakfast, this could be an eating area. You could cook right there. It's a cool space. Really, really neat. And again, look, here's how old this sprinkler system is. Auxiliary drain. It's all painted gold. Cool stuff. Yeah, I would totally consider leaving all that in place. And yeah, it's a vast space up here. Got a little cubby over there. This needs your help. Let's see. Make sure I'm not wrong about something here. So as far as I can tell, if that wall right there is taken out, that should go into the roof of the front porch where that oval window is. They added this later, they had to, as a fire escape, and you may have to leave it if you had it as a bed and breakfast. So it goes out to the balcony if there's a problem, and then you go out that door and you go down the steps on the porch. And then this is why I think this room was finished originally. It may have been a servant's area where they stayed, but here's some remnants of the original beadboard up here. So I guess this beadboard is probably under the drywall that you see today.
Oh, and there's an access to that as well.
Oh yeah. You want to go? So let's run through the basement and get outside so you all can get about your day. You be careful here, dear. Let's take the servant stairs down. That way they can see what those are like instead of the front steps. Look how long they are. Where am I? Oh, okay. Our friend Robert has big houses like this. He has the passion for living in these houses like we do. And when we complained about something a while back, like it was being 0 outside, and our house was a little harder to heat when it was 0, and he just simply said, "Mansion life." So here we are in the basement. Now the city has this as partially finished. I'm not going to say that. I mean, it does have outlets and wiring down here, and they did use it at some point with assisted living, but it definitely needs a little work to be what I would consider finished. But it is a pretty dry space. I don't smell anything weird down here. There's a pipe right here, so don't trip. So down here you kind of got this, I don't know, kitchen area. And here's like the nexus of the sprinkler system. Coolest thing ever. So if you had like a wine cellar down here, you could leave all that. That'd be really neat. Look at this big giant thing.
Water motor.
And there's a window here, so you got some natural light in the basement. Don't trip again. There's a room in here, huge room in here, and there's a shower in that room. So there's some plumbing in this area, and then this is an access to probably that foyer area that we may be under the dining room. Is there a chimney there? No.
I think we're under the main big room.
Yeah, I think the dining room chimney might be right here. Or there. And then here's your boiler system. I'm trying to figure out. This looks just like our old one, and ours was steam. So my assumption is this is also steam and not just hot water that runs through the pipes. But yeah, these are relatively new. I think our HVAC guy told us when we had a repair done that these boilers usually last like 40 or 50 years. So if you continue to heat your house with this, you're going to have to do some maintenance, but it should be pretty good heat.
Oh, here's the water gauge. I guess water.
Yeah, they had water gauges on both. I'm pretty sure it's steam. And please don't think I'm not doing my job well. Even HVAC people come in sometimes and they're like, hold on a minute. I don't know if that's steam or not. And then you got this room down here for maybe a laundry area or something. And the window there. Yeah, I don't know how many of those are still in effect. Oh, here's another big room. It's almost a mirror image of that other room. And this door goes out so it walks straight out onto the back parking lot, which is paved. And then that's the elevator door. And there's a teeny tiny little bathroom right here. I guess there's a light in there that I don't have on. That doesn't work. So yeah, you're not, if you're, it's easy to fall in love with this house, but you're also going to have to fall in love with the idea that there are going to be some surprises. You're going to spend some money, but it's going to be well worth it. At $450,000 or under $450,000 in this neighborhood, downtown Bristol, for this size, I don't think I've had one negative piece of feedback about the price. We made sure that it was priced right. Oh, good, the sun's out. Let's go ahead and jump up to the balcony and I'll show y'all the view and then we'll look at the rest of the backyard. And again, here's this house next door. It's going to be coming on the market maybe within the next couple of months. And it's definitely small enough to be just a single family house without being a bed and breakfast or something like that. It's a really neat house. It was a, let's see here. It had something to do with the hospital. Like maybe it was, I want to say that it was maybe that was the regular hospital and this was the birthing hospital or something. Now see how this board juts out here? I think he left the original Capitol under there. Matter of fact, you guys see a piece of it. So here we are up on the balcony area. Well, it's not really, well, I guess it is kind of a balcony and not just a second floor porch. Our lovely neighborhood, all kinds of cool houses up here, great people. And there are those huge capitals on those columns. Now, unless the city required you to leave these for a bed and breakfast, I don't think that would be the case. You could take these out and restore this porch to its former glory. Yeah, you might be able to put something in the back, hidden a little. Let's just walk down the sidewalk. This tree, which I think is in okay condition. I'm not a arborist, but this tree is in the original 1920s photo. So this tree must have been planted the year the house was built, which is really cool. That means it's 115 years old. That tree, on the other hand, replaced an original tree that was a little closer to the corner. Now, I want you to look at the neighborhood while we're out here now that it's not trying to rain. Here's the house next door that's going to be coming up for sale. Look at that beautiful brick house. That's one of my favorites in the whole neighborhood. I love that. And she's doing kind of a meticulous job of taking her spindles down and taking the paint off of them and repainting them and putting them back up. And these houses all through here have been restored. They used to, most of them I think were apartment buildings that were converted later, and now they're all single family again. And I love this house across the road, which was built around 1872 or 71. Thank you, I don't have my glasses on. Right down there's the King house, that brick wall just beyond that tree. So there's the oval window, all the great woodwork and brickwork. One of the heat pumps, it's older, but it still works right now. And then the bay window jutting out with that beautiful Palladian window in the third floor. Gracious, huge windows everywhere. And then here's that portico. I love the ironwork on this. I guess maybe that was done later, but it's really pretty. And it goes right to the side of the house where that bathroom was. Now back here is your bonus. We're not done. for 449,000, you don't just get this house and 5,600 square feet. You get a paved parking lot, you get an office down here, and then there's a 1-bed, 1-bath apartment here that's already rented. Now there's alley access right here. So this alley goes behind the house and goes back around to, what'd they rename that street, Monica? It was Scott Street. I can't say it now.
Oh, Service Road, is it?
No,
Oh.
it starts with a W. I don't know why they renamed it. Weston Street. So yeah, there's a big office right here. I think there's 2 large rooms, and I guess a bathroom is also in there. And then the apartment upstairs. Let's get in the shade so you don't go blind. Here is this giant elevator shaft. Look at that. I don't know. That's got to be 80 feet. And it's in great condition. And then, like I said, the elevator opens right here, and you can just come outside. I don't know what this door is. I think I'm missing something. I thought I knew everything. Now, this carport does not go with it. This carport and this little teeny house right here was a servant's house, and it goes with the white house. So the property line runs right through here. So if you buy this, they're going to have to remove their fence and flip this around so that you can use this parking lot. And then here's another heat pump for, I think that line goes all the way to the third floor. So I guess this cools most of the 2nd and 3rd floor. And it's, I don't know. I don't think it's 15, 20 years old. Got a little age on it. Well, there we have it. 200 Solar Street, Bristol, Virginia. You can see all the photos if you want to get a better feel for that. Let's walk around the front here. And the Cantors that own this property own this too. They live here, and their wall collapsed a while back, so they're trying to figure that situation out right now. Solar Hill is only 6 kind of tic-tac-toe looking streets and 3 sets of 2 blocks, if that makes any sense. So it's a pretty tight-knit community. Everybody seems to know everybody up here. And Monica says, we have our babies and we have our babies, and our houses are our other baby. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. Like I said, I'm Daniel Shue, the old house agent. Don't forget to click subscribe if you like this video, because I do, at least 2 a month of these house tours that I'm listing. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. So anyway, I will catch you on the next video. Thank you.